Hi everyone, this is Lexi Tucker, LCT Associate Editor, and today I am here speaking to
Nick Lopez, Vice President of Operations, JACO Limousine and Bus.
Todd Roberts, President, JACO Limousine and Bus.
And as you can see, they are your Kentucky Derby affiliate. So I am here today to ask you guys a couple questions about working the Kentucky Derby. I think you have enough experience working it. How many years have you provided transportation for the event?
We've been doing the Derby since 2006.
So lots of experience. So for people who are kind of interested in what that entails, can you tell us maybe about a typical day at the Derby?
Typical day at the Derby, yeah. It kind of depends on the year.
Yeah.
I'd say one of the first things that comes up is the weather.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor, but it's a major event, brings out folks from all across the country and internationally, all different industries they're involved in or backgrounds, and it's a really special event, really unparalleled.
I've heard it entails a lot. So when you say weather, does that kind of impact the types of vehicles being used, or?
It doesn't impact the type of vehicles being used. It basically, it determines on or sets the mood, I guess, for the day. You got to make sure you got umbrellas in the car, and there's a lot of different things that could happen. You're also dealing with people getting in and out, tracking mud in your vehicles, so you got to have people ready to clean those cars, get them ready to go back out, because when you hit Derby weekend for about 4 days, those cars hardly ever shut off. I mean, they refuel them, clean them up, and then they go back out for a party or something. So, weather does play an important role as far as what we have to do to be able to turn the cars around and get them back out.
So in terms of advice you would give to other operators who are looking to either work the Derby or maybe a similar event, what would you say would be some really good tips?
Pack a lunch. Yeah, they're long days. So you start early and you finish late with your groups. I mean, you have typically 10-hour minimums or whatnot, and your groups may be out for 12, 15 hours in a day. And you're going to be, you got sedans and SUVs rolling, you're going to be dropping off early in the morning and then picking back up early in the morning sometimes. So it's a pretty amazing event, and you got to have some stamina as a driver. You're really not moving around a whole lot.
Right.
Most of the time you're sitting. So you got to have folks that are going to be patient and know the right routes, know which ways to go, know what areas that are really high congestion and where to avoid. Know your points of interest. A lot of your folks can be going to the same places throughout the day. And so come in with a plan and execute on it.
What about you, Todd?
Basically, I mean, my advice to people with the Derby, when you come in, the first thing you really got to know is you got to know the area. You got to familiarize yourself. You don't have to necessarily be there, but you got to familiarize yourself with the track and how to get in there, where the parking lots are. Then you got to find out where your parking places are, and you got to really familiarize yourself, because it's a major event. There's about 170-some thousand people that attend Derby Day. So if you're coming into town, we try to get people that's not been there before to do dry runs and so forth, and try to be prepared to do that. Some of the other things is you got to make sure that keep plenty of water and stuff in the car. It's going to be long days. Even when it's over, you're going to be sitting in traffic for hours. I mean, it don't matter if you're coming in a limousine or a Rolls Royce. If you're not the governor or you're not the president, you're going to be sitting in traffic a while. So you got to prepare and just try to keep your people comfortable.
Excellent. So I know you guys have been working together for quite a while now. I'm kind of interested to hear about what each of you think is kind of the best part about working with the other.
Oh.
I'll let him go first.
That's cold-blooded. I'd say one of the first things that really stood out to me about Todd was his passion for being involved in the business. And when I say the business, I mean driving. That's what it all boils down to. So you could have some folks that come in that are operational, that never get into a vehicle.
Right.
And that's really not how we've grown our business. Everyone that's involved in our organization is a driver first. And we really groom from within, and that's how we promoted our people. So that's been a pretty unique thing for us, and it's really held true, you know, with Todd through and through the years. You know, for me earlier, it was about trying to get Todd out of the vehicle.
Right.
Because he loves it. You know, I mean, it's a really exciting business, one that you got to be really passionate about. And Todd's always had that passion, and it really stands out. And, you know, that's what we look to instill in all of our folks, that level of excitement. And, you know, with Todd, his commitment to the fleet and really setting a mark that's high for our markets is what's really been the focal point of his, and he's done a great job of really bringing us great equipment that represents our company. And then for me, it's about bringing the right people in to complement that.
I guess the big thing, you know, about me and Nick working together, we have our strengths and our weaknesses. No one person has all of their strengths. I mean, when it comes to whatever it may be, whether you're selling ice cream or renting limousines or whatever it is, there's no one person knows everything or can do everything. So Nick, when he come on board, he's been a major asset to the company. He's able to pick up on things that I wouldn't be able to pick up on things. And if you see us together a lot, there's a reason, because we work in unison. I mean, we're sitting there and I'm thinking about something, and I may not necessarily be on track, and he comes up with an idea, or, you know, he's sitting over there, he's always on the computer. Everybody talks about him packing a computer in a backpack around. So, you know, I tell him he's sort of like the president's guy that has the nuclear codes in the football. You know, he keeps that backpack and that laptop so he can make things happen in just a few minutes. So he's got some really good strengths about bringing people on board. He has great communication skills and so forth. So, you know, the very first time I ever met him was at a networking event. Yeah. And, you know, he pretty much sold himself, and I'm just sitting back over in the corner watching him, you know, work the crowd. So he was promoting something himself, and when he came in, I said, I'm interested in you doing this for me, but I'm interested in you doing it for me full time. Right. So, you know, it was just a short time that I realized that he needed to be doing a whole lot more than just that.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for taking some time to talk to me today. I really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, Lexi.